just follow in, okay? And charge his card before I mail it. Everybody good?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. Anything that you take out of here, can you make a forensic copy, like eliminate to either?
Now, here's your problem, right? So none of these tools will technically produce a forensics file or forensics item, which is why I said the $MFT. So when I write the files out, the thing that I'm missing is that the dates and times are going to change when I save them to my drive, right? So where do I have those? What's the file that has that? Yep, $MFT. So let me answer the next question that's going to happen as soon as I tell you that. So here I am on the drive I virtually rebuilt, right? Here is $MFT right here. See it? So I'm going to save $MFT. One, two, three. $MFT. I'm going to save $MFT into the folder, right? It's really a little bit better if you get rid of the dollar because Microsoft likes to pretend files don't belong to the file system, but it will treat it as a file here. So I'm going to say save. I'm saving $MFT. Now, you can't, $MFT is just going to be that collection of records. If I shrink this down and I go and I look at this, I'm going to start up FTK. I go look at my hard drive. I open my hard drive that I stored it on. I go to $MFT, so I'm going to the directory I just did. Here it is, Intel. Inside there's a $MFT. See it? MFT, right? 44. So if I highlight that, you'll see every record, all the file records I just showed you in MFT entries, they're all here, right? Everybody happy with this idea? Now, that's not very convenient for us, right? So, there's a couple of tools out. It's not the greatest tool on planet Earth, but it works. There's one called MFT Ripper. You ever heard of this? So, there is an error in one version of it, so you got to make sure you have the right version. But I'm going to run this tool. It's a cheap tool that it's a pair of brothers that make this. So Mikey is run by, shoot, I know who it is, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. So I'm going to take this $MFT. Yes. Yes, the Men's brother. That's right. That's correct. So I'm going to take that file that I just saved. And this is on your desktop. You can run it as well. I'm going to take that file I just saved. I'm going to RV. I'm going to Intel. I'm going to open MFT. Then I'm going to spit that out into that. Is fine. And actually it'll make me a CSV file so I can actually have all the dates and times and all the content. It'll rip the $MFT file and spit it out. And that's really one of the other ways I can do it. Or I can open it up in something else. Or I can, use encase and fake it on a disk. And so then I will actually have that file, and there it is. Okay. So this will be an Excel file, and you see I've got every one of the items. It'll be in here, and these will all be with date and time and all the other stuff. And so you can just open that up in an Excel spreadsheet, and it'll have everything that you wanted. It'll parse it out. So, but the $MFT itself is your evidence at that point. So your file dates and times might change. So there are some other ways. Some tools, not every tool, has an option that after I rebuilt this, that I can then spit out an image. So I can create a virtual volume and spit it out, or create an image file from my virtual volume. I don't think that they're always corrected. So the things that you fixed may not be fixed. Like they still might have to go through these manual things. But if you know how to do it, and you give the evidence to somebody else and he doesn't know how to do it, you are inherently better than he is. Right? Does that make sense? So, which is the point of being able to have this skill. Is everybody happy with this? You see that I can, in a minute, less than a minute, I can do this entire job from beginning to end if I just know how to use my tools and know how to do them properly. This isn't the whole list either. I can do this with 100 things. I mean, you can hand me stuff that you've never, that I've never seen before, and I'll figure it out pretty rapidly. But if you know your tools and you can do this a few times, you can get into this stuff, parse this stuff. And I know forensics guys who can't get to this data. That they don't know how to parse this data or get to this data, and they can't get there quickly. And if I get the answer first, then I'll figure out how to present it. Does that make sense? But there's nothing wrong with the image file, giving them the image file. It's still up to them to figure out how to make that work. They have told me they would make a way to print this. Like this isn't the best method of printing, that you could actually have a report. If you beg them for it, they'll probably make it. But whatever tool that you're using, and I'll show you other ways to do it, because we can do this in our studios and a bunch of other things. But that's fundamentally what I'm trying to prove. Okay? This was actually 3 different labs. So why don't we take a break before I keep going? Because we're trying to get to Rate Array before it's too late.